Hey church, this is Pastor Matt here. Welcome to this next installment of our how-to series on how to use CCB. This one is specifically going to be for how to navigate your group. And if you're a life group leader, this is the one that if all the other stuff made sense to you, maybe this portion will not. So I hope this brings you some clarity. Let's jump right into it. I want you to go to your groups tab. Remember, you can expand it if you don't like it like that, but click on the groups portion and it'll bring you into your group. It'll bring you to all of your groups. You'll have to navigate down to your specific one. Now, I'm in several, so let's use my life group for this one. I'm going to jump into my life group. And here we go. This actually is bringing us right into files. It was the last thing I used when I was here. But let's take a step back. Let's go to info. And so if you can see where I'm clicking, it's just this little group of tabs here at the top. All right, and this is basic information. It's my wife and I lead it, address, when and where, and all this basic kind of stuff. You can write all these things. I'll show you how to do all that if you want to edit anything here. But I'm assuming you already have something together, and this is how to use it. Here's your message feature. If you want to send a new message, it's right here. Everything's pretty bold and simple to use. In fact, we will do that in just a little bit to show you guys how that's done. Calendar, you actually can create a calendar for your group. We don't use this hardly ever, but if you're a real active group and you're going on group outings together and I don't know, maybe you're going to the pumpkin patch together or you've got a service project lined up, you've got a calendar just for your group here. You can upload files. I'm actually going to do that for you in just a few minutes to show you how this feature works. Needs. This is really neat for prayer needs, or if you guys are let's say you've kind of adopted a mission or a child or someone that needs help. You can submit a need and say, hey, so-and-so's family is in need of size 2 little girl clothes. Please bring anything you want. And you can create this need, and then everyone in your group can see it. So it's really nice. Positions. You may not use this one a lot, but we can talk about the reasons why you need that, and we'll go through some mock-ups in a few minutes. There are schedules, which for the typical group you won't need. If you're a service-oriented group, this is a fantastic tool to use. And the last one is the participants and everyone that's actually in it. So this video is going to be a little bit longer. Let's jump into how to use some of these features. Let me bring you all the way. First, let me actually take you to files, because I have a file I want to upload for my group. So I accidentally uploaded the wrong one, and I'm going to take this out, to be honest with you. Gave them the wrong one. So I'm actually teaching a series on Elisha. It's actually a sermon series I preached back in my former church, and so I've got a bunch of really good material I'm sharing with my group. So if you've got stuff that you've written or stuff that you found online, you can actually upload it here to our site and share it with all your folks. So let me show you how we're going to do this. We're going to click over here on the right on New File. And like any other upload feature, you're just going to choose File, and it's going to bring you into all your stuff. Now, I've actually got mine sitting on my desktop for simplicity's sake, and Bill's texting me right now. Let me find my Elisha. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Elisha Week 2 outline. So this was my preaching outline, which has got a lot of detailed notes. I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to let them know second week Elisha notes, and I'm going to save this here on my connection. I'm in the fellowship hall. It's not always the fastest, and that's it. I've saved it now. It's online. It's on our group, and so it's available for all of our folks to click on and read. So let's make sure it's the right one. We'll double check. We're going to click that link, and it will actually download it. So I'm on a Mac OS. My downloads folder's down there, and let's come up to Elisha right here. Yep, here we go. Here are my sermon notes from when I preached the series. And so, this is an idea that you guys can do. Obviously, if you may not have it written like this, but you can ask some more questions. I've got a couple of talking points that we can do. Some of the scriptures we went over last night and some of the teaching points are all right here. So it's just a simple way that you can stay connected with your folks during the week. Let me get out of here. We know that's the right one. Go back into my group. All right, so there's that. let's let them know what's going on. So now I'm going to show you how to send a message. I'm going to come over here to messages, and let's send my group a message together. So we're going to click on new message. Send messages to, now this is kind of important, you can send it to the participants, the leaders, or specific group members. So don't stress about this one too much. You may not need this a whole bunch, but let's say you're throwing a surprise party for a group member and you want to email the whole group except for one family so that they are surprised. That'd be a great reason to use that. This would not be a great tool for half of your group going out on an outing and cutting the other half out. So don't do that. This is for specific group members. Maybe you have a specific question for 2 or 3 families. Sky's the limit. Leaders only. Typically there's only be 1 or 2 leaders in a group like this, so you may not use this a whole lot. 9 times out of 10, you're going to click on all participants. So that goes to everyone. You've got a couple options here. You can have replies go to no one, and it's just kind of a blanket statement, or you can have replies come right back to you, which I typically check. We don't have this set up as a public forum, so it's not a chat forum. You can have this not be stored, or you can actually have this pinned to the top. So for instance, if you've got a message that, hey, these are the house rules when you come over for our small group, and you want that message to stay on top, you would click that to pin it to the top. For us, there's no need to do that. I'm just going to write the subject line, let them know I've uploaded Elisha notes. I'm going to let them know, hey guys, check out our group settings on CCB. I've got some notes for you if you'd like. And from Matt. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to hit send. And then all my folks will get this email. They're in my group. In fact, you'll see my notification in a second will pop up because I'm in the group too. And it'll let them know, hey, I've got some Elisha notes for you guys. So now they know they can come over here to the Files tab, and they can read what we went over last night. So those are some of the cool features that this thing can do. Let me bring you to positions. We haven't created any in our group, but let's go ahead and create one. So you're going to click New Position. And so for this one, this can be whatever you want. Something that we do is we actually eat a meal together. And my wife right now is actually coordinating all the food for us. So let's call this food. Oh, for fun, we'll call her the food lady. And wait, we don't want to be gender specific. Food person coordinator. All right, so that's not the official title, but it will be for today. So I'll just say this person arranges meals for each week and communicates with the group. All right, so there's a couple features you can have here. Position could be listed or inactive, not scheduled. This one would be an unscheduled position because it doesn't have it's not like you do this every other week. You could have multiple food coordinators, but for us, they can stay non-scheduled. Type, you can have an application for something like this. I would not recommend you do that for a food coordinator. Well, it'll be open to anyone that wants to coordinate food. Unless, here, we'll shorten it. We'll just call her the food coordinator instead of the person. And maybe you only have 2 of these, so you can put in a parameter, and then this position could essentially become closed. But we don't have any need to do that, so we're going to leave that blank. Before I hit save, we'll take you to qualifications. Now, for a food coordinator, I don't feel like we have a special spiritual gifting, but let's assume maybe this is one of our staff members. Let's assume Tim Blake is on this right now, and this is a group for his life group leaders at his roundtable discussion on Sunday mornings. Well, he may want his group leaders to have the gift of leadership or teaching or wisdom. Any of those, he can actually put those parameters in. Then you can have passion. So are they passionate about global missions? That's awesome. But if they are not passionate about youth and young adults, maybe they won't make a great small group leader for Tim. There's all different ways you can do this. This has so many more features than most of you guys will use. But I just wanted to make you aware that they're here. You can even say personality style, maturity. Hey, they're a seeker, or they're they're a leader. You can write out manual one. So just that's maybe a lot more than you'll need it for, but it does exist. So now I'm going to save this, and this position now exists officially. The food coordinator now exists, and there's different things you can do here. You can edit this, so we can change what we just put. You can duplicate this position. In a standard life group, you're not going to need to do a lot of this kind of stuff, but just be aware it's here. So let's go back to our group. So anytime you get back, don't hit the home or don't hit your group again. You're gonna have to go through all those steps. Just go to your back to group, and you're back in that main dashboard all over again. See, there we go. So now you can see this position is here, and they report to me, which I could have changed that. They could have reported to someone else. And so that's that. That's positions. Schedules, this may be a little much for something like a life group, but let's assume you're leading a serve group. So Travis Risher, our First Steps director, he leads a lot of our serve teams on campus. So under his department, you're going to see our sign team, you're going to see our ushers, our greeters, and recently added, we have this this coffee barista position. Schedule is a fantastic tool for something like that. He can create blackout dates. He can make a schedule for ushers who maybe only want to serve every other week, and that's what you would use this feature for. We won't get into this today because this is very in-depth to do this. It would take a lot of time, but just know that exists. If for some reason you need to schedule stuff. For needs, you may be taking up items for someone. Maybe your small group decided to go over and above and you want to adopt a family or a child, or maybe you get one of the boxes. Hey, there's my email for the Elisha notes, by the way. So you see the system, a couple minutes behind, but fairly efficient. But let's say that you guys picked up one of the shoe boxes for Operation Christmas Child. You can click New Need, and like everything else, it's just going to walk you through all the blanks, and you could say Operation Christmas Child. You could explain what it is, and you can input a need, and all your groups would see that, even to the point where, hey, we need shoes and what size. There's all kinds of stuff going on. We are not going to save this. We're going to cancel, and it's going to kick us back into the group. So that's what needs is all about. Of course, calendar, we talked about, you can calendar stuff, messages. This is the basic dashboard that you've got going on here. So this is kind of how to navigate in your group. I'm going to end the video here because it's starting to get long. The next piece of this pie is how to do the participant side. This may be what you really need to know how to do, so I'm going to make it a separate video. Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. If this was helpful to you and you think it may be helpful to someone else, feel free to share this with them. We love you guys. God bless you. Have a fantastic week.